Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about items that are being overpaid for right now on the Escape from Tarkov flea market, and hopefully it's not you that is overpaying for them. Do me a favor, make sure you're dropping a like on this one here today, and of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more PvE content. Let's hop right into this one. So we're going to be taking a look at 3 items specifically today. The first one is one I usually make a video for in itself, so I'm giving you a couple bonuses in this video here today. The Scav Vest. I have made a bunch of videos on the Scav Vest before, and unfortunately, people just don't see the video. That's YouTube algorithm's fault, not their fault. So that's why I make these videos every year or two talking about this item, because it's one that you might need a lot of, and unfortunately, people overpay a lot. So you can see Scav Vests right now are selling in that 35 to 45K range. The most that I think I've sold a Scav Vest for in the PvE market has been 50K, which you can see that is where the highest one is listed. And usually I will sell them around that 40K mark pretty consistently. You don't have to pay that. They are significantly cheaper from 2 other places. So the first one is not a guarantee. So I'm going to show you that one first, and that is from Fence. Right there, 5,459 rubles. Pretty good timing there, Fence. I appreciate that. There are 3 available, so if you wanted to purchase 3 of these, you could get 3 Scav Vests. Now that I said this, the odds that there will be Scav Vests on the Fence market are pretty low, so I'm sorry, but if you do snipe one, whether you're working on your shotgun kills or whatever it is on customs, you need Scav Vests for a few things. I think you also need them for Shoreline and the one of the Punisher tasks. I think you need Scav Vests for a lot of stuff. So, and I think maybe even a couple crafts in the hideout. So there's a bunch of uses. That's why they're expensive, especially when it's involved with task. I mean, everybody goes nuts doing their task, especially at the beginning of a wipe, if you really want to call it that, the beginning of PvE here. But Fence is a great source to get your Scav Vest, and this is the cheapest way to find your Scav Vest that is not in raid. So when it comes to scouring the flea market and the traders, Fence will always be the cheapest for Scav Vest specifically. Obviously, if you want some Scav Vest a lot easier, go into Factory on your PMC, kill a bunch of Scavs, and leave the raid. That's the best way to get Scav Vest, but if you have to buy them, check Fence first. Your next option is going to be Jaeger on the Barber. He has the Scav Vest right here, and I believe it's Jaeger level 1. So as soon as you unlock Jaeger, get that note, get it turned in, Jaeger level 1. You can get 10 of these per restock, and Jaeger has one of the fastest restocks in the game, and all you need is 1 single Slickers. Slickers are fairly cheap, 20K here. So this is about half the price, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, this is actually a pretty inflated price for Slickers. Usually they're around like that 12K mark. You can also craft them. I'm not sure what the exact components are for that, if it's going to be worth your time and more worth it for you to craft them. But if you're dying a lot with your Scav Vest on, it's just not going your way, you're having a bad night at Tarkov, consider maybe doing this craft. Oh, this is a decent craft. Get yourself a chocolate bar in raid. They're probably, what, 15K? About 20K here. Do this craft. Takes an hour and 11 minutes. Get 7 of them. That's 7 Scav Vests for you in an hour. So if you need Scav Vest, that's the way to go. Do not buy them off of the flea market. The next item is going to be the SV98. So let's see what that's currently selling for on the flea market here. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty pricey. They are about, we'll call it, all right, so we have one right here, we have another one here, and then we have like the true price wall. So 95 to 100K. Yeah, we do have some there at that 80K range, but I've been selling SV98s that I get from my Scav right in this range. Probably 94,999 is what I would list one for right now. You can get them way cheaper than that. So, number one, Fence is a great resource. We are going to have a Fence video very soon. Let's see if he has any. But Fence usually has SV98s because they spawn on Scavs. And people running their Scavs, if that SV98 durability is under, like, what is it, 52 or 50 or 45, something like that, you can only sell it to Fence, or you could, sell it on the flea market. But some people sell them to Fence, and when they get sold to Fence, he sells them extremely cheap, especially for all the people who take all the attachments off. If you have a bare bones SV98 from Fence, they're usually about 45K, and that is a great price, especially if you need it for fishing gear. Now, if you're trying to do some of those other bolt action tasks, I would just go with a Mosin at that point. It's about the same price. Don't put a bunch of attachments on an SV98 that's already going to be on that lower durability side if you're getting it from Fence. Me personally, I've just been buying the one I just showed you from Jaeger. That's the one I've been going with. But even then, this is way cheaper. Buying this one from Jaeger, you throw a sight on there, and you can throw a flashlight on there, and you're basically good to go with this SV98. And if you're wondering, that is going to be a loyalty level 3 on Jaeger, which I think is in the 20 range. So SV98, that's the other one. I wanted to have one here ready to go for you on Fence, but looks like we are not going to get one here. But I've seen them. They're about that 40K range. There are more expensive ones too, with maybe a flashlight on them or some sort of sight. But you know, if you're going to use those attachments or sell those attachments to offset the cost, you could certainly do that. But you will be overpaying on the weapon attachment side of things. When there's attachments on weapons for Fence, they are significantly more expensive. So looks like no SV98s. I'll check again after this last item, but this last item is one that I overpaid for in PvE so far. I didn't start doing this until yesterday when I was grinding out Secure Perimeter. So I let you guys know that factory keys might go up in price right now because of all the people struggling with Secure Perimeter. And I was one of those people that was buying a shit ton of factory keys. I was running through them. I'm not even going to lie. Probably did 70 raids of factory yesterday. It was a grind. And you can see they have gone up. I said they would go up. They're up. People want to do Secure Perimeter. They're going to be grinding out those factory raids. And there's not even a page worth here. However, there is a way to get them cheaper. And I promise you, I did not set you up for this. I did not set you up to buy a bunch of factory keys and then see this video and then start getting them this way. It was just really bad timing, and I apologize if I told you to go buy a bunch of factory keys. That's on me. I'll take the L on that one. We're going to be doing a barter for Jaeger, and the barter is for a factory key. Now, here's the thing. You need to have a factory key to start. So what you need to do is use your factory key 19 times, and once it is at 1 of 20, you're going to save it, and you're going to do this barter with Jaeger. You need 3 Iskras, and you need an MRE. The MREs are pretty cheap. I don't know if you can buy them directly from Therapist or not. This is 30K right now. I don't know if there is a barter. Let me just double check real quick. There's not for MRE. So you're going to need 1 MRE. You can find them in raids super easily, by the way. And then the Iskra as well. These are pretty cheap. I think they're like 25K or something. Jaeger sells them for 25K. I will show you what loyalty level that is in just a second for both the barter and the Iskras. But if you're buying them off of the flea market, it's going to be about 40K. So easy math here, not counting your factory key. You're looking at about 120,000 plus 30. You're looking at about 150,000 here for these food items if you're buying them at that, you know, high price on the flea, not counting the trader price. So if you're using Jaeger's price, it'd be 75 here, maybe 30K here. So you're looking at about 105,000, and then your one-use factory key. I think I actually still have a one-user in here, so I'm going to pull the trigger on this because I'm going to need a new one soon. You saw the one in my docs case was at, I believe, 4. I think it had 4 uses left on it. Hopefully it didn't pull it from there. It didn't, so I think it used that one user. It didn't. It took my other 20 of 20. All right, Nikito, we have to have a talk after the video. That just happened, and it is what it is. So I just overpaid a lot for my factory keys still. The irony is great. But assuming you don't have a bunch of factory keys in your stash in the wrong order, you'll be okay. So for this barter, we're going to be looking at Jaeger 2 for this one right here. And then to buy the Iskras, it's going to be, let's go on. Is that medical? I think that still falls under medical, right? No, it does not. Amateur hour over here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see here. It's not 1. It's going to be Jaeger level 2 on both of them. So if you need a factory key, wait till it's at 1 of 20, like this one. And maybe make sure you don't have another one laying in your stash somewhere. Just a PSA, because you just saw me get scammed live. But that's 3 items that are being overpaid for right now on the flea market and PvE. If you're buying any of those, maybe consider taking into account some of these tips here today. If you want to overpay, I will not stop you because I've been selling the Scav Vest like fucking crazy. So once again, hurting my bottom line. But yeah, make sure you're picking up some of these items. If you're using these items specifically, make sure you're picking them up like this to save you a little bit. Do me a favor, make sure you drop that like, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. Sponsored equipment description below. I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.